Court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1086, Easley case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Easley, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So I met Nicole about 9 months ago. She normally comes into town when she is here on a traveling assignment, and the lady next door rents out her home to travel nurses. And so over time, we, kind of clicked and we started hanging out. Her children would come over and play with mine, and we just, became really good friends. And so this particular time, she had another assignment somewhere else, and her current nanny wasn't available. And so I offered to keep the kids. I had just finished special agent school, and I had some downtime. So she was like, well, it'll be about 6 weeks, but I probably just need you for the 2 weeks, and my other nanny will come and get the kids. And I said, okay, cool. I told her, a price. We kind of made the arrangements. And then over time, after the first week, I didn't hear from her. She didn't.
Wait a minute. So after a week of you having her children, she didn't call you, she didn't check on them, no FaceTime, nothing?
I couldn't get her on the phone. I would call, I would send her a text. The kids would even call. I think that the 10-year-old has a phone. He even tried to call. She just wasn't available.
And their ages are 10 and
7.
10 and 7. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Boy and girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So after the first week, I was like, okay, well, maybe she's just busy. I know nurses, they work 12-hour days. Cool. The second week came around, I didn't get the next payment. The next payment would have been through Venmo. She didn't send me no money. She didn't send the payment. Still couldn't get her on the phone. So at the time, my fiance had just got back in town, probably a couple days after she had left. And I kind of was telling him about what was going on, and he, was like, well, just give her some time, and, just, to me, nonchalant about it in a way. And so he ended up having to go back out of town for an emergency work trip. And so I remember when he left, that next week when I couldn't get on the phone again, I happened to just call him, and I couldn't get him on the phone. And I was just like, okay, something isn't right. Mm-hmm. My detectors went off, and
Mine
I was
are
like,
too.
okay. So, so I ended up pulling his location, and I realized they were in the same.
All right, guys, we're diving into a courtroom storm where silence speaks louder than words. Right out the gate, you'll sense the eerie calm before chaos as the judge and attorneys lock horns in a power-drenched exchange. The defense is laying bricks carefully, but the prosecution is already circling like a hawk. Every glance, every pause drips with tension. This isn't just legal wrangling, it's psychological warfare in its purest form. You can feel the stakes rising even when no one's shouting. Watch closely, because in these few minutes, reputations are sharpened, not spoken. The fuse is lit, and we're only getting started.
Maybe that's a coincidence. He travels a lot,
He travels a lot.
He travels a lot.
She travels a lot.
She's a travel nurse. She should only be at the hospital. She shouldn't be anywhere else. But they both travel
to say
a lot.
where I should be, but okay.
Well, who's to say you should wait your turn?
And so, so I end up, I remember I ended up FaceTiming him, and he didn't answer, which is unusual because he would call every night. He would check in. The communication is never our issue. So the next day, now we're probably 2.5 weeks in. I got him on the phone that Wednesday morning, and I happened to hear her in the background.
Keep going.
And so I said, where you at? He said, I'm getting ready to go into a meeting. And I said, oh, okay. And I left it at that.
Oh, wow. I've never held my teacup this long.
So now we're going on now we're 2.5 weeks in. And so I decided to call her again. She ends up calling probably that afternoon. And was like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been working, and it's just been crazy at work, and, I'm sorry about the kids. And so I was like, well, where you say you was at again? And she told me where she was at, and I was just like, well, what happened to the nanny that was supposed to be coming? And I said, I thought I might have heard Michael in the background. Are you sure? You at work? And she kind of got an attitude and got real defensive. And I said, I'm at work, and you offered it to the kids, and I'll get you your money, and just
the audacity.
Yeah.
You're keeping her kids.
All of that.
And you have kids of your own.
Kids of my own.
Wow.
So I have, and they're older, so I don't, have that problem. So for her to do that, I was like, okay. So then now we're on.
This is where it starts to burn. The questioning hits full throttle, and what seems like a casual inquiry quickly turns into a layered trap. The attorney isn't just asking questions. He's tightening the noose. Witness reactions shift from calm to cornered in seconds. You'll catch flickers of panic, deflection, and the scramble to keep the story straight. This is courtroom chess, and every word is a calculated move. The rhythm is intense, the back and forth relentless. This part shows us that in court, truth isn't shouted, it's cornered and extracted. Stay sharp because the tide is...
The third week, Nanny didn't show up. I still haven't received payment, and I sent her a text. I was like, look, you need to make an arrangement for your children. I did this out of the kindness of my heart. You got to figure out something. Didn't get a response back. So I ended up getting my fiance back on the phone, and we ended up getting into it. And I said, I asked him the same thing. Where you say you was at again? And I said, well, I talked to Nicole. She said you was with her. I played the reverse psychology thing.
Right.
And he said, huh? Uh-huh. And I said, Nicole said you was with her. You on a work trip? Did you invite her? And so for him, he was like, well, no, man, she popped up on me. And so he didn't know that I really never spoke to her.
Wait a minute. So he went on a secret rendezvous trip with Nicole here.
They both
He
left.
didn't.
Excuse me.
I don't even know if she
I was speaking. Hold on 1 second. I was speaking to her. I'll get to you in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so I don't even know if she really was at work. At this point now, me and him into it, I'm about ready to go drop her kids and my kids off somewhere and get in my car and get on the road. So at this point...
You didn't do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. You kind
I'm
of
a changed
hesitated.
woman. Yeah, I'm a changed
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm a special agent now, so I have to always think about the things that I do before I do them.
Absolutely.
Right. So, so that's kind of what happened. And so I'm bringing her here today for non-payment and for the damages that her children caused in my home during their stay.
Okay, so are her children still with you?
They are. She has not came. I can't get in touch with family.
So wait a minute. You have been raising her children all of this time?
All of this time.
No.
Wow. Is there anything else you want me to know? Because Chatterbox over here, she keeps...
All right, guys, here's where the cracks begin to show. The witness slips, and the room catches it. This isn't just about what's said. It's about what's exposed. The attorney seizes on a contradiction like a bloodhound on a trail. Every sentence now feels like it could explode. You'll hear. Objections fly, tones rise, and the stakes climb higher with each breath. The courtroom is no longer neutral. It's a battleground. This segment is raw, real, and deeply revealing. It's not just about proving a point. It's about unraveling a person right in front of our eyes. Don't blink, because this...
Interrupting. So I guess she has a lot she wants to say.
No, just besides, I really just want her to get the kids or find a family, find somebody to come get them. I'm not going to put the children out on the street. That's just not me. But, she needs to come get her kids. The damages, they damaged my garage door. They have just been little rugrats and just tearing up the home, markers on the walls, and damaged the cabinets, and the bathroom faucet is hanging off the faucet wall now.
What kind of kids are these?
The toilet is damaged because they would put tissue in there, and then
Probably her kids.
It was just a mess. Mine is 14.
And
Okay, is there anything else you want me to know before I move over
No,
to her?
that's it for now.
Okay, all right. Now it's your turn.
hi, Judge.
Hi.
I just want to first of all say yes, she is a special agent, and she uses her job on a daily basis. She wants to be in everybody's business, and
I just have one question though. Was your location really where Michael was?
yes.
Oh,
It was.
so you did run off in the
So
sunset
there
with
was
her
no
man.
pop-up. I don't pop up on people.
Right, you just show up.
No, I was already there.
Mm.
Yes. When he came,
So
I was
y'all
already,
planned this.
No. I didn't plan anything.
So tell me how that came about that you all just so happened to be in the same place.
I am on my assignment, so I'm already stationed to where
Well,
I
we
was.
understand your
And
assignment. We do.
I don't know how he came to be in the same city as mine. I don't know how his job works, but he ended up being in the same city as mine. I have made payments to her. They have a joint account, so it's not my responsibility if he gets the money out before she notices it's there.
That doesn't
but I
make
send my
that
payments.
doesn't make sense. Why would you be making deposits in their joint account
for
if-
keeping the kids.
No. Wouldn't it make sense for you to just give it directly to her?
Well, that was the agreement that I was to send the money through the account, not exchange of any cash.
So did you tell Michael that the money you were depositing were for their kids?
Yes,
I mean, for
they were
your
both
kids,
aware
I'm
of
sorry.
that. They were both aware of what the money was going for. I'm not just going to be sending money to a guy. That makes no sense to me. But yes, I was sending her money. She volunteered.
The courtroom tension has evolved into confrontation. The defense is now scrambling, trying to seal off leaks, but the prosecution smells blood. You'll hear sharp cross-examinations, bold interruptions, and a witness who's clearly feeling the heat. Every answer is a gamble now. The mood, combustible. The audience may be silent, but the silence is deafening. We're watching a strategy unravel, and it's mesmerizing. If you thought courtrooms were cold, clinical places, this scene will shake that belief to its core. This is pressure.
Volunteered to watch the kids.
She volunteered to watch them for a temporary basis,
Correct.
not weeks, not months, not to still have them.
Yes, but did she tell you that whenever I would call and tell her that my nanny wasn't available or my contract was extended, that she was like, oh, that's no problem, that's no problem.
Well, I think the only reason she said that is, like she said, she didn't want to put the kids out on the street. That doesn't cue you to say, oh, well, let me just leave my children there, right?
Well, if someone's telling you that's no problem, let them stay, and I'm in a whole nother state, no, I wouldn't want my kids out on the street. But
So
if
you
she's
took that as,
voluntarily
excuse me,
telling
you
me,
took that as let them stay permanently?
no,
While you and Michael run off in the sunset?
no, my assignment is only 6 weeks.
Okay, but
weeks.
after 6 weeks, you still didn't go back and pick them up.
My assignment got extended, and when we communicated with each other, she said that was fine. It was extended 2 more weeks. I'm not going to leave my kids with someone permanently.
Okay, it sounds like you've done that, and that's the reason that she's here. I mean, we can't necessarily award damages or anything, but you can definitely be placed on child support if your children are going to remain living with her.
They will not.
She's assuming the parental role of them every single day based on what she said.
Voluntarily.
You voluntarily gave them up.
No.
Yes,
I can get my kids.
Yes, you did.
I can get my kids.
Well, it's a little too late for that. You can go pick them up.
Yes.
But as of today, because they've been with her, how long have they been with you now at this
It's
point?
now 3rd month.
3 months? 3 months? And they've been living with you?
I've been feeding, caring.
And you're still on assignment?
I am.
Okay,
My assignment ends next
you
week.
obviously came here to waste my time because you are definitely going to be paying her some sort of support.
In
Now,
addition to what I've been paying her,
how much have you been paying her?
she gets $250 a week.
All right, guys, it's reckoning hour. The fallout begins here. The judge's patience is thinning, attorneys are walking a razor's edge, and the witness spiraling. This is where desperation meets consequence. You'll feel the weight of missteps made earlier, the kind that echo long after words fade. This is where strategy turns into survival. The courtroom is thick with unspoken warnings, and every player knows it. You'll catch looks that could kill and silence that screams. It's not about justice anymore. It's about damage control. And man, the damage...
Blowing that in 2 days on groceries.
Yes, but that's what she wanted. That's what she.
Yeah, you came here to waste my time. You playing baby games. No, we're not going to do this. What we are going to do is put you on child support. Since your children have been living with her this entire time, she's been taking care of them. It doesn't seem like you have any intentions on coming back after your assignment keeps getting extended.
But I'm getting them next week.
Right. On an extended assignment.
Right.
Right.
But I have a nanny.
Okay, well, when you get them back, then you can come back to court and say something different. But until then, I want to make sure that she is at least getting some sort of financial support, because you haven't gotten them before now. You're only saying that because you're in court today. I've